What's up, guys? And I don't really know how to do this. I never have done intros or anything anymore. But as the day starts and we're here in Electro, I just wanted to say I'd honestly never thought I'd see this day again. Especially me playing this game. This is crazy. Like this is crazy. It feels crazy to be back. I kind of wanted to use what's going to be this video is a Let's Talk. This is kind of just going to be me talking for the next probably 5 to 10 minutes. Just about more about real life, about what's happening in my life and where I've went for the last 2.5 years, 2 years, where I've, why I've been absent and why I didn't make any videos or why I stopped streaming, why I kind of just fell off the grid in the Switch community, just in the community in general, not even watching streams, not even going on Twitter. And I'm actually live playing the game right now, live. This is all happening, so I'm looting as we speak. So if any people come or find any loot, I may get distracted for a second. But I've tried talking over these videos and commentating, and it just isn't me. I'm just kind of the person who just likes to get it out in one and let it be natural and just let it be out there and cringe where we cringe and laugh where we laugh, kind of thing. That's just who I am. So yeah, let's start looting. See if we can get this character looted up. I'm just joining a random server, a modded server, as that's why I'm kind of back on DayZ. Well, that's the reason I'm back. But so I've been encouraged to come back and to try this game again. And so far, I have been having fun. I'm not gonna lie, the mods have been fun. The frames still, we've still got little room to work there. Still a few little aspects, but overall, the past few weeks of playing, especially with Mike and Gav, and we've been talking to B again, so you never know. Let's stay tuned, and you never know what the future holds. But right, and I just want a disclaimer here, real quick. If at any point in the video I do get emotional or I have to stop talking, it just might happen. I'm not saying it will happen, I'm just saying that might happen because I'm going to be quite personal with you guys. If you don't want to see a video like this as well, like if this isn't what you're going to be interested in, and you're looking for an action-packed typical Blue Brew video, feel free to skip this video. I completely understand that. Not all of you want to hear about this, and this is just kind of for people out there who, because I believe we were a big family. I didn't see YouTube and stuff as very seriousness. I just kind of see it as a big bunch of friends playing games, just making some fun YouTube videos that we all used to watch and laugh at, and just record some crazy times with friends and crazy solo adventures, and just a silly bit of fun, really. So yeah, I'm going to pick up kind of where we left off like 2 years ago. No, I'll keep the cowboy hat. So if you look 2 years ago, I was streaming consistently, a lot of DayZ, pretty much 4 streams a week I think I was doing. Good long streams, but average probably at like 8 hours. Having quite a lot of fun on there, there was a real buzz around it, and I was really enjoying myself. Yes, my internet was terrible, and now my internet is good, so when I start streaming again, it will not be blurry as hell, which is good news. So yeah, I was streaming, enjoying life, and then I moved. I used to have I live in Manchester. I used to have an apartment. I was at university at the time. I was in my final year when I was kind of streaming, and I had to move. So I had to move back home, which was kind of one of the reasons why it kind of fell off all of a sudden, because I didn't expect to have to do that. I'd been looking for a place. Just firefighting again. I'll take that, yoink. Huh? Oh, it's an attachment for the bottom of a backpack. Okay, we'll take that. So yeah, I was at uni, and I had my own place, so I could freely stream and do whatever I wanted. And when I went back home for a little bit, things obviously just didn't work out. Like, I couldn't just go home and tell my mum, right, I'm streaming, it's going to be really loud in the house, and unfortunately life just doesn't work like that. So that was one of the sacrifices that had to be made. But then I only stayed at home for about 3 months, and from where I am now, I bought my own apartment, which I live in now as we speak. So I live by myself. Yeah, I kind of worked very hard, got a decent job, and yeah, bought my first apartment when I was 21, about 18 months ago. So you're probably thinking, why, you got your own apartment, you got your own space, why didn't you start streaming again? It's a good question. After about, I'd say, thinking back, about 3 months of being in the apartment, 4 months, I got a phone call, and it was just an ordinary day. I'll never forget the day. Now, it was a Sunday, and we were watching Match of the Day, or I was watching Match of the Day at home. I got a phone call from my dad, and he said, it was Derby Day in Manchester City. I'm a big City supporter, Sorry to all the people who are football fans out there hating on me at this point. Yes, I have been a Manchester City supporter all my life. I've not joined because of the money. Anyway, so I got a phone call from my dad, and I thought, nothing of it. It's Derby Day. We won. He was probably calling to brag and ask if I was watching Match of the Day and a quick catch up. Unfortunately, I wish that was the case, but it wasn't. My father actually called me and informed me of the news that he was diagnosed with cancer, cancer of the stomach. At which point, I just remember sitting down, being in floods of tears, and really didn't know how to process the information at the start. Really, it was a huge. The only way to describe it, it was like a train had sideswiped me. It was one of the most unusual experiences. I remember I had work the next day, and I went into work, and I'm not afraid to say it. People can judge and say what they want. I don't really care. But I went into work, and I remember sitting in the office and speaking to my manager, and I was just in floods of tears. And I told him what had happened. He just said go home, and I took a few days, and I just remembered this out of body experience of not knowing how exactly to feel and what was going on. But the good news is we were told at the time everything. He was gonna have surgery, and everything was gonna be okay. So it was fantastic news. It was news that he's gonna be able to fight this. My dad was a huge, strong man. He was big guy, full of tattoos. He was been through a lot in his life, and he was prepared. He was mentally strong. So a few months go by, and he goes into Salford Royal Hospital, and we're like, okay, sweet, perfect. He's in a really great hospital. He's going to have his upper stomach removed where this huge tumour was. So he has the operation. We were told everything went fine. He was in recovery in this period. And then we got a phone call from the hospital and was like, you need to come in. There's been complications. Okay, so we went to the hospital, me and my sister and my brother and the grandkids and stuff. And basically what had happened is he had reattached his top stomach down to the lower stomach in his bowels, and one of the staples or stitches, don't know exactly, but it had burst. And unfortunately that had caused a rupture in his stomach, and they'd have to re-operate on him. And at this point I remember going into that intensive care unit, and my dad at the time admitted, he said, I really didn't know if I was going to live. He didn't remember me going in and my sister going in there, and talking to him. He doesn't remember any of that. He was just so drugged up. He had 3 tubes on the left side of his abdomen and 3 tubes on the right. It was, I'll never forget seeing him like that. It was like a real like wake up call to like, holy shit, like this is really bad. Like this isn't just a small thing anymore. Like this is like, holy shit, what's gonna happen? And I remember that, the doctors taking us to one side and explaining the situation and saying, what had happened and going through all the medical information. And I just kind of remember, asking the question of, well, because at this point we were told he was, not far off his chemotherapy. What's going to happen with the chemo? And they said that basically that they'd assess that once he'd recovered from this second operation, the complications, which was okay. We took that and thought, great, like there's still light at the end of the tunnel. Anyway, a month passed by, he was still in hospital. 2 months passes by, he's still in hospital. 3 months passes by, he's still in hospital. Still very, very ill, still really fighting, for not his life, but fighting for his recovery. Anyway, we get to the 3-month mark, and the doctors are like, okay, Steve, your father can, go home. He's getting to that recovery period, and perfect. And I'll never forget this. We had a conversation with a lady who worked for Christie's, or no, Macmillan rather, but worked for the NHS, but helped Macmillan as well, and advised on cancer support. And we were basically told at this point, my father, he wasn't going to have chemo anymore. It wasn't going to be recoverable. The cancer had spread pretty much throughout at the top of his body. It was in his red blood cells. It was in his bones, in his spine. It was pretty much everywhere. And this was, even now thinking about it, really does. Sorry. Was a really hard thing to deal with. Us all, as a family, having to accept that my father wasn't going to be around forever. And we were told at this time he probably had maximum 3 months left to live. And I just remember that just the horror and the pain, and my father not having to accept his own death and not get to see me, get married and have children, and be there for the things he wanted to be there for. So I don't. It's hard to put into words and hard to talk about, but I'm trying. It was a difficult period. At this point, I remember I took a lot of time off my job. I just felt priorities in life didn't matter. Spending time with Dad and having as much quality time as possible with him, and doing as much as we could do, and just kind of living life as normal. It sounds crazy, but all you want to do at that time in your life is just act like nothing's wrong, and just do the exact same you do what me and Dad would do anyway. So 3 months passes by and he's still around. He was a super strong man. Like he he was a joker and always made light of the situation. A lot of people if they talk about things like this happening to them or to family members, they say like they really lose who they was. My dad didn't. He stayed the joking comedy character right until the last day. He didn't change, and that's what kind of, you know, I still think about and smile about even to this day, is no matter how much pain he was in and how much hurt he was going through and suffering, he could still wake up, have a smile on his face and laugh and joke like nothing was wrong. So after 3 months, you know, we were told he wasn't going to be here, he was still around, still fighting. He went into a hospice, which is like palliative care, so that's like care for people who are really at end of life. Really, you know, really struggling, need a lot of like attention 24/7, need a lot of, you know, painkillers. Like my father was taking morphine and Oromorph and stuff that'd, you know, really help him with the pain he was suffering in at the time. So, but I can't thank them enough. You know, the carers and the people were just incredible. They looked after him. They were like superstars. And every day they went, you know, if he ever needed a coffee or a drink or take him for a cigarette or whatever he needed, they were there. KFC, you know, they'd do anything for him. And, you know, I can't say thank you to them enough. But after a few months of him being in there, his health really started to deteriorate, and unfortunately he did pass this year, February 2nd. So it was a very, very difficult period in my life, losing someone so close, who I was so close with. My dad was like my hero. It was just been a very hard past couple of years, really, with that, and that's, I don't feel like I owe you guys an explanation, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it, talk about you know, what I've been through, and I'm very open and honest about my situation. I think there's a lot of people who've been through similar or going through really hard times, and people think talking about it's show signs of weakness or being emotional. Like I'm not gonna lie, I am. It's being weak, but it's not. Absolutely not. Like, to be able to talk about it and, you know, be honest and get your emotions out there, that shows strength, and you can really help, you know, to get it out and just be honest. So that's probably as much detail as I would go in at the moment, but I just wanted to say to everyone who stuck to the channel and stayed around and sent me messages on Twitter, sent me messages on YouTube, on Twitch, saying when you're coming back and can't wait for your content, and really being supportive. It just means so much, and I know you guys watching the trailer video I've just posted and saying they can't wait for more content with the guys, and it is going to all come, and the streams will come. But I just wanted to give this explanation and be honest with you guys, and kind of inform you about what I've been through and be a bit more real, and not just be Blueberry who's running around on DayZ murdering big squads of people, and because sometimes that's not all that happens in life, and I just kind of yeah, I don't know what to say, but yeah. But I just wanted to thank you guys for everything and all the support, and I have seen it, and even yesterday just puts a smile on my face and just shows I am right in saying we're a family, and this is something that's just amazing. Thanks guys, and hopefully stay tuned and come over to the streams once I get set it up and started, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later. And let's do this. Let's turn a negative into a positive, and let's look forward and